Well, if consciousness occurs in the brain, then consciousness is a series of chemical reactions and electronic transfers. And what happens in our brain is sort of a metaphor for all the sensory perceptions we're receiving. Happiness is when the brain is filled with dopamine. And you know, dopamine
or dope for short.
No, dopamine is a brain chemical.
I know.
And
serotonin and dopamine.
And that's what makes you feel happy. That's what happiness is. And they have, and you know, I don't understand the brain chemistry. I don't understand the neurology, but it's just a bunch of molecules whirling around inside your skull, and that's all it is. And eternal happiness can never occur because you can never reach a state where your brain can exist forever without changing. Your brain will start running out of energy and it'll think, let's go get something to eat. You know,
let's go have some sex.
Let's go have some sex. Some kind of imbalance is going to occur.
Yeah.
And that brain is going to say, let's get out of where we are now and let's move on to...
Oh, the brain is resilient and trying to it starves the rest of the body because it is the thing that's eternally young. Your brain doesn't realize the changes that occur in the rest of the body, but the brain still takes care of itself.
Well, maybe eternal peace does not mean smooth sailing 100%, because how do you know how happy you are unless you go down? So eternal peace could mean you're really happy and you're not so happy, but it's still peaceful. Is that possible? Is that totally oxymoronic?
No, everlasting peace, as I keep saying, I don't think that's achievable, but you can find peace in your life. And part of it is to get rid of the dissatisfaction that you've experienced. And you have to shed that like a skin. You know, you have to say that was my life. It is not my life now. And I go from this point forward.
Our thoughts change the chemicals in our brain. Mm-hmm. So by the positive thinking, then we produce more of the dopamine, besides some other things that we can do. And it's not an automatic flip a switch. It's really a daily practice, pretty much, and it's easy to get off the path.
Oh yeah.
Even if you firmly believe all this and you practice it, you still have days where you're off the path. You're down in the dumps, so blah blah whatever. That's being human.
If you use it as your center, the place that you come back to,
you can find it back. Yeah.
And you can always find the sacred place within yourself.
Yeah.
And you can find the peace that you need within yourself. Because you're still here. You're the thread that's gone through all the needles of your life. You're the only one that knows the story from the beginning all the way to here.
And sometimes we need somebody just to gently nudge us or point us or remind us. Yeah.
As selfish as it sounds, ultimately our perception is based on our perception. And we are all alone. We're alone from the others, that even though we're physically present with them. We can join with them for a moment, but we each lead our separate lives.
But we can create the third being of us.
That's true. And one
Machiavellian would say that we behave in the way that results in us getting what we want.
That's true.
And the successful person is the person who is able to get those things that he treasures. And it's possible for a Machiavellian to sacrifice. A Machiavellian could say, this art museum, this Art Deco museum is worth preserving, even if I have to pay money to the fund which supports it, because it's a treasure that's greater than I am. You know, I don't have to be selfish all the time. I can be generous when I want to. In terms of human relationships, or relationships between men and women, the Machiavellian would say the domestic contract is is a partnership in which one's strengths build on the other's weaknesses, and that makes it a mutually beneficial arrangement. You know, and our brain chemistry arranges itself to appreciate that. Our brain fills itself with dopamine when we arrive at that goal.
I like that.
Well, that's about as smart as I can get, honey. If you want anything better than that, you got to find you another fella.